Makeblock xTool D1 laser right here. We're going to put it together. We're going to talk about it a little bit first. Nobody gave it to me. I bought it. Not being paid to do any type of promotion on this or any type of review. So everything that I have to say about this will definitely be my opinion. I did wait a while to get this because it originally did not support Lightburn. Now it does. And I am a Lightburn user, and that's my software preference. This originally worked off of a proprietary software that Makeblock had called LaserBox, and we will get into installing that and doing a few things with it, and I'll show you how it works. That is not my software of choice. I wanted Lightburn, so I held off until Lightburn was available, and some other people had tried it out and proven it so that I wasn't being a beta guinea pig. So what do I think of this right off? Well, I know, I haven't even opened this up yet, but I know there's no manual in here. So you have to go online to their website, and all this information is there. There's one for putting the thing together, one for using Lightburn, one for using LaserBox. Are they available as a PDF? No. They should be. And for the price of this laser, they could have printed a little instruction thing and put it in the box. But anyway, that's the way they did it. So I downloaded these. Now, how did I print them out? I didn't just go print the web page directly. If you want to have a PDF of these, go to the link for, let's say we're going to do this one here for the Lightburn. Click on print. Then print as a PDF. It'll save as a PDF file. Then you can either look at it at your leisure, or you can do what I did and print it out here. I didn't want to have to be sitting here assembling this with a tablet, a computer, or something right there where I had to keep looking at it. I wanted to be able to use this as a reference. I'm old. I like the paper stuff. Okay, with that said, we're going to get into opening this box up, unboxing it, and put it together. Coming up. Okay, so right off it says right on the top of the box, using a knife to open the box may damage parts inside the box. Please keep the packing box properly and carefully. Okay. Knife. I break the rules. Also very careful, and I know what I'm doing here. I don't get wild with this. All I'm going to do is cut the tape. Nice crispy Chinese cardboard. Oh, we get some stickers. Well, okay. And to get started, welcome to xTool. Meet your xTool, so you have to go around to their website. FCC statement on the back. Tells you it's a Class 4 laser product. Yes, it is. So, let's take off the foam. I will say it is well packed. So we have a bag of hardware, got the micro SD card in there, some samples, some cable ties. Now I got to kind of figure out how to do this here. Going to take these parts out and lay them out here first. This is very, very well packaged. And in looking at the parts and pieces, they are well-made extrusions, and I have watched a few other reviews of this, and everybody rants about how well-made it is. A little Wi-Fi antenna on there. I will not be using the Wi-Fi part, but it's there. Cables. Definitely going to need them. We have a power cord. We have a power supply, and I'm glad to see it is not a wall wart. Really hate those things. USB cable, tube of grease, and it's very cold in here, so Pen Sheng. You can't go buy that at Walmart. And we have some glasses in here with a better the wrong color, really. Yeah, these are green. I know this is a blue laser, and the opposite of blue is orange, so really technically these should be orange. And I have orange ones that I use. I also don't like these little cheap, chintzy plastic laser glasses that they send. I got a whole pile of them up in the loft. That's my little rant on laser glasses. And we have the laser head here. And a couple more extrusions. Okay, got all the parts and pieces out. Get rid of some trash here and we'll get going. Okay, first I'm going to get in with a little hardware package here, make sure we got everything. Some cable ties, micro SD card, little dog tag. I'll put my name on that and wear it, or not. A little piece of leather to play with, a little piece of wood, a little piece of acrylic. Well, that's not acrylic. Yes, it is. And we have a little package of alien wrenches. 3 different sizes. And we have a couple packages of screws. And I'm not going to screw with the Ziploc thing on that. And these little magnetic trays are real handy to have when you're working with these types of projects. Keeps all your screws together in one place. So we'll set off the stuff that I won't need here right now off to the side. Stick that back in that bag for now. I know we're going to need this micro SD card later, so stick that in the bag. The cable ties off to the side. Okay, as you start into this, you got the front. That's the one with the motherboard in it. The rear, which is just the feet there. The left one is a stepper motor attached. The right one has a cable tie here that you need to remove. That was a little packing tie in there, so that needs to be removed. So you're ready to assemble by putting some screws together. And one of the things I like to use are these little drivers here. This is 2.5 M&Ms if you're keeping track. It fits these screws perfect. It's a lot easier to use than these little alien wrenches. Yes, I know it's called an Allen wrench. We'll just simply slip these parts together here. This has to go on around the switch. Let me get a close-up here for you. You see that needs to slip in. It's a nice tight fit. It fits very square and nice. And I do not tighten my screws up tight until I have everything started. So you'll have one at the top, then you'll have 2 at the bottom. I should say 2 on the side, excuse me. Okay, I just proceed to do that on all 4 corners. I'll turn this up on end so hopefully you can get a good view of this right here. These are your frame holding screws. Right here is where your belt tension screw is going to go. Will be on the back. Okay, something that's important is to have this on a good level surface. This is the top of my table saw. I know it's dead flat. So once you have all your screws started around, with the exception of the belt tensioning screws, all the frame screws, you can go ahead and tighten those up. Okay, the next ones are the belt tensioning screws. So the screws you have left, you got two different lengths, like so. The belt tensioning screws are the longer ones. And there is a piece right inside here. Hopefully you can see that right here. That when you pass the screw through the end, it goes into that. You'll have to hold that so you can get it started, but don't go cranking your belt down too tight yet, because you got some other processes to go through. Okay, next you'll have the X-axis plate here. They call it the middle plate. You want the front towards you. This is where the laser mounts. That will be towards you. The stepper motor will be on your right hand side. You'll have 4 screws like this, and they go in from the end. Okay, and on your left hand side is where that third belt tensioning screw goes. There again, don't be cranking that one down tight until we get to the point where we're adjusting belt tension. Okay, next with this, I have it turned upside down. This here is the shaft you have. It's a sprocket on the end. You need to get a hold of the timing belt pulley, or belt. Place it around there. There is a little recess down in there. And that will align with the stepper motor shaft. And there is a split coupling here that slides over both. Well, you can see that right there. And you just tighten up those screws, and it's the same 2.5 millimeter wrench. Okay, next we get to do a little bit of cabling here. Get these untied. You'll have one long harness like this. That's for later. I'm going to start out with this one here. You got a white end and a yellow end. The white end, get this straightened out, will plug into your motor over here, and you will notice it is keyed. So it'll only go in one way, so if you're having trouble, don't force it, because if you bend those pins, you'll have a dickens of a time trying to get them straightened out. There is a little opening on the socket of the stepper motor where this little boss right here fits into. And that will be facing the outside. And the other end of this, the yellow end, stand this up. You see down in here, there's a yellow connector. That's where this plugs into, and better have some nimble fingers to get in there. Here again, it's keyed. There's a little boss on there, a couple of protrusions. Those will face the inside of the laser. Okay, next you gotta grab some of your cable ties. And there's 3 holes here. You need to put 3 cable ties in. Hold this cable up out of the way. Now I'll point some out here if you've never used cable ties before. You'll see one end is kind of raised off to one side. The cable tie always goes into the flat side. If you go around like this, it won't hold. And once you got your cable ties in, just cut them off. You're not going to have one of these. I'm an electrician, so I do, but most people are not going to have one of these guys. Okay, next on the wiring end down here, you've got an end with a red plug and a white plug. These both plug into the motherboard. There again, it takes a little bit of dexterity to do it. Okay, one thing that's going to help is if you take and bend the wire flat like this with the little raised portions towards the inside of the laser. That gives you a way to get your finger down in there. I got big fingers, so it's hard for me to get my hand in there. Okay, and next on the X-axis stepper motor, that's the one that runs back and forth this way. You've got a white plugs kind of in the middle of things. That plugs into there. Same thing with the raised portion. Make sure you have it on the right side of the motor. In this case, it will face up. Okay, then you'll notice over here on the corner where the motherboard is, and I still have this upside down, there's two holes here. You put a couple cable ties in there to hold this cable back. And cut them off. Okay, I've got to turn back upright, and I have the laser head here in my hand. Your remaining connector will go and plug into the laser with a little clip pointed to the outside of it there, or I should say to the back of it. There again, it helps if you bend that over a little bit to give you a little bit of dexterity to be able to get in there. And make sure it's plugged in firmly like that. You notice there's a little slot up here at the top. You take your cable, run it over through there like so. And it just slips down in the keyway. And I'm going to tighten this up just there for now. And across this plate you'll see there's 3 holes. Put cable ties in those to hold your cable in place. This is a prime candidate for a drag chain, that's what I'm thinking here, but we'll do this for now. And then just cut them off. Sure we got free movement all the way back and forth here. Yep. Okay, and lastly, you'll be inserting this little micro SD card, which I call TF card, into the slot here. The contacts go down. So that's all there is to that. Okay, and the last process here is to adjust the belt tension. So we'll do the X-axis here first. Move that guy out of the way. See a screw here at the top. You'll need to loosen that one a little bit. Then you set your tension. This is kind of hard to describe. You want this so that it is snug but not tight. You don't want it flopping around, but you don't want it so tight you can't move anything either. Once you have it set, you tighten that screw back down. Make sure everything moves smoothly. You'll have the same thing on each one of your sides. And for that, the screw is actually off to the side. You loosen that up a little bit. Set your tension there so that the belt is not floppy, but not so snug that it makes it hard to move. And do the same thing for the other side here. That screw's already loose. As I said, it's kind of hard to describe what proper belt tension is. So you want, as I said, you want it snug but not real tight. As far as deflection goes, when you push on the belt, you want maybe a 1/2 inch of deflection across the length. You want to make sure this moves smoothly. To keep this from getting ridiculously long, I'm going to stop this here as just being an assembly. I'll do another one on getting it connected with laser box, and then another one with getting it set up with light burn. This is the assembly of it. So what do I think so far? Well, it's well built. I really don't like this, because I could see as this moves back on the y-axis, this cable coming inside and getting into your work instead of going out here. I'm going to have to try to figure out some kind of drag chain for this or some better solution, because I really don't like that out there. Thinking maybe bringing this up and having a drag chain run up along the outside edge would be way better than the way it is right now, but that's something for later on. The other thing I find odd is that the what they call home position is in the upper left corner like this, where everything else I have is in the lower left corner. So it's going to be something I'm going to have to remember. Otherwise, it's heavy. It's heavy, well made. These are some thick gauge aluminum extrusions. Everything fits together very well. From here, we'll go on to setup and we'll do some testing, but as I said, I'm going to end this one right here with just the assembly. So if you got anything out of this, appreciate getting a thumbs up, always helps the channel. I'm Roger in the shop. Thanks for watching, we'll see you on the next one.